So the big question you want to ask yourself today is, where does my money live? You see, the same dollar saved in 1995 can be worth 30 to 50% more to your family depending on where it lives when you retire or pass away. Where your money lives could be more important, more impactful to you than how you invest or what you invest in. So where is the big question in retirement, not as much how or what. So what do I mean by where my money lives? I like to think in terms of buckets and what I call the 3-bucket framework. Forget asking how big is my pile or what am I invested in. Start asking, where is my money sitting? Where does it live? What buckets do I have my money in? You have 3 options. You have 3 bucket options. Bucket number 1 is your taxable bucket. This is your non-retirement, non-tax deferred, non-IRA, non-401k. These are your traditional investment accounts. Think of them as brokerage accounts, your taxable stock accounts, your savings, your checking accounts, anything that is taxable on an annual basis. They're highly liquid, no penalty for accessing those accounts. They get a step up in basis at death on the capital gains. Heirs often pay little or no capital gains. There are no forced required minimum distributions. Interest, dividends, capital gains are all taxable when realized, not deferred. That's bucket number 1. Bucket number 2 we'll call your tax-free bucket. This is where you're going to find your Roth IRAs, your Roth 401ks, and even cash value life insurance is a good tax-free bucket. This bucket typically has withdrawals that are tax-free in retirement. No lifetime forced distributions in terms of required minimum distributions, RMDs. And the assets in this bucket are generally inherited tax-free with no 10-year rule. Bucket 3 are your tax-deferred accounts. Your traditional IRAs, your 401ks, even annuities fall into this bucket. This is usually a retiree's largest bucket. It's fantastic for accumulation, which is why they grow to be such large buckets to begin with. But then they become the most heavily taxed bucket in retirement and at death. So you have 3 potential buckets available to you: the taxable, the tax-free, and the tax-deferred buckets. A reasonable goal by retirement would be to have about a third in each bucket. That'd be a great place to shoot for. Ideally, though, bucket 1, your taxable bucket, should have about 12 to 36 months of living expenses in there, plus any heir-friendly money you're earmarking for the kids, stocks that you want to pass to the kids that have a lot of built-in gains, etc. They should be in your taxable bucket. Bucket 2 is your tax-free bucket. This bucket should be as large as possible. And why not? It's tax-free. Make it as large as possible. Bucket 3 is your tax-deferred bucket. Make this bucket as small as the IRS will let you make it. So that's the ideal. 1 to 3 years of expenses in your taxable bucket, plus your built-in capital gains in the taxable bucket, as much as possible in the tax-free bucket, and as little as possible in the tax-deferred bucket, which tends to be just exactly the opposite of where you find yourself in retirement. So one question I often get is, why do I want money in a taxable bucket? That doesn't sound good to me. Well, remember, the taxable bucket buys you flexibility and a step up in basis when you pass away, meaning you can cheat the tax man out of paying those capital gains taxes if you hold the asset for your heirs. If step up in basis doesn't quite make sense to you, reach out to me, please. I'd be happy to explain it to you in further detail.